What's up, guys? QuarterHoarder here. If you didn't see last week's video, we got onto this house that was built way back in 1710. And we only even found the property because we saw it listed for sale online, and Doug went over and knocked on the door. And even though we found a ton of stuff around the yard, and I'm certainly not complaining, it seems like everything was like late early 1900s. Very little that kind of went back further than that. So this week we go back to do the other side of the yard, the remaining portion of the front, and a little bit of the orchard across the street. And even if we only find more early 1900 stuff, I am totally cool with that. But man, we would love to get on some stuff that might go back 100 plus years earlier. So let's get rolling and see what else we can find at this 1710 colonial home, and I will see you at the end. Later. All right, so this front yard is giving up all sorts of signals. Not a lot of coins. I have a feeling it's been hunted before and they just cherry pick the coins. But we are finding some interesting off-signal doodads. In my hand, I just pulled this silver-plated spoon out, which I wouldn't even normally show, but it was in my hand as Rich called me because Rich got a button. Oh, a little cuff button.
Tiny.
Oh, it's got a full shank on there too, right up and down.
That is really tiny.
Man, I almost forgot what buttons look like. We haven't found one all day.
I thought it was a snap button because of the front.
Yeah.
Look at that design on there, Rich.
Is it just a circle or is it?
No, it's got like a design going around the outside. See it?
Oh yeah, like spots.
Yeah, or maybe like a rope. I can't tell.
Yeah.
That's beautiful, man.
That is.
I'd love to get a nice brush down to see if there's anything in the middle. I'm not sure. Definitely got age to it, Charlie. Look at that. That's got to be like 1830s or so.
Definitely an old button, that's for sure.
Yeah, that's one of the older finds of the day that we've got.
Cool.
And beautiful shape with the full shank. Well done, Rich.
Thank you.
Certainly kills my spoon. What number did this come up? A 30?
And it was quite loud, actually.
Really? For that little thing?
Yeah.
It's those off numbers that are really starting to pay off for us, Charlie. Not a lot of screaming high tones, but screaming.
This earlier.
Yeah, well, it's those weird tones that seem to be paying off. Nice find, Rich.
Thanks.
Well, it's hard to tell, but it is super windy today. I brought a microphone and a dead cat to hopefully cut down on that. On the side of the house here, I had one of my better signals. You guys can check it out. It's already out of the hole. This is what it gave me. It was actually a little higher in the ground, hitting around a 39, I think once or twice a 40. And I got the first Indian penny of the day. And the date, let's take a look. Looks like it might be 1898. Could be 1889. Could be 1896. I'm not really sure. It's a little bit dirty. I'm going to go with 1898. Let's take a look at the back here. It's got some good detail on it. You can see the full shield, the 1 cent. You can see the wreath going around. You know, like I said earlier, this soil here is very dry, and it's keeping the coins and relics we find in really good shape when we can find them. So I definitely can't complain about the terrain. But because we haven't found a lot of coins, I'm just going to guess that this place was hunted before. I think they were probably only high-tone hunting because they left a lot of relics and interesting doodads around. And the place is enormous, so we're going to keep pushing on into the fields, into the pasture across the street. We still have another side of the house to go, so hopefully we'll keep getting on some good stuff. All right, Just Silver Jr.'s got a winner. I just got a glimpse of it, Joe. It's amazing. Yep. I don't know how long he's been detecting for, if you found one of these or not. Have you ever found one? Did you know what it was?
First I thought my popped out. I thought it was just a proto bell.
Look at that. It's you got the clanger in there.
There
you hold the clanger.
Okay. It's
a beautiful old brass Conestoga bell. We don't find a lot of these at all. It's like a miniature Liberty Bell, you know what I mean?
Yep.
And being that it's brass, and see how the ends are flared out like that, they always get broken in the ground. It's very fragile. This is absolutely stunning, man. I don't know if you have any of your things you found in your limited detecting time on display or not at your house, but this is display worthy. Awesome find, man. Old Conestoga bell. The clanger would have hung from a little hook inside. He does still have the clanger, although the latch broke off. But your dad could probably weld it. Your dad's good with that kind of stuff. Awesome find, man. Congratulations. Beautiful. Best find of the day so far.
Oh yeah, 100%.
All right, I got an interesting one here I might do a live dig on. Take a listen to this. Now this is not going to be a coin. The number's too low. But I think it could possibly be a button. It's consistent in every direction and it's very small. If I pull back, you don't hear it here. You start hearing it right there, and if you look at the top of my coil, the very head, it's gone almost where it started. This could be a button. It could be something small, a thimble, who knows? I'm gonna dig it live. No, I'm not sure. Ooh, oh, this could be a 3-ring bullet. Oh, I see some stripes in it. This could be a 3-ring bullet. I'm gonna clean this on camera. I've never got one before, if that's what it is. It's an odd shape. Hold on, let me set this up. I wanna get a nice close-up of it. Could be my first one ever. All right, I wanted to move the camera closer. Let's take a look and see. Oh, it's definitely lead. It's got a lot of weight to it. It's definitely got rings in it. Oh man, I don't know. There's an awfully large gap in between the top and this first ring. So I don't know if that's a 3-ring bullet. The bottom, I thought they kind of like curved in, like they were concave. But the patina is right. I don't know. Let me give it a spray down and really get a good look at it. I'm not an expert on this. We don't get a lot of Civil War stuff around our way. Wow, it's very heavy. Let me clean up a little bit more and I'll go ask the guys and I don't know, we'll do a consensus on it. All right, well the guys went across the street to do the orchard, so I'm by myself here. I've never dug a 3-ring bullet naturally in the ground before. I do have a bunch of them that people were nice enough to give to me or I found at seeded hunts, but never one natural. But because I have some, I can say that this is about the weight of one. It's clearly lead. It's about the height of one too, but I've never seen one with that huge gap in between the head and the top ring. I can't even guarantee that this is a projectile, but if it is, based on the patina of that lead, it's gotta be old. Very well could be Civil War period. I'm gonna have to send some photos to some more Civil War expert detectorists that I know and see if they can verify or not. I'm on the fence, but it's an interesting piece nonetheless. Not quite the button I was hoping for, but at least it's something pretty darn interesting and possibly a Civil War bullet, but I just don't know for sure. All right, we came to this little wooded spot. The homeowner said there was another house in here. It's a little thicker than we thought, so we might turn around. But as I was walking in on this trail, I noticed right there, if you can see him, there's a snake right in front of me. I almost stepped on him, Rich. You see his head sticking up?
Not yet.
Oh, he's curled up. He's about 4 feet in front of you, right in the center of the trail.
Oh, I do see him. He's a rat snake.
Is that what it is?
Yeah. They're notoriously mean.
Yeah, he doesn't look like he's friendly. Let me see if I can. Yeah, there he is, right there. Right in front of me. So I'm going to turn around, Rich, because where there's one, there could be more. And I don't feel like getting bitten by a snake today.
Why?
I don't know. Just thought maybe a different day. Tuesday's my snake bitten day. All right, Dog Tag Doug just found this big dandy button. And it's kind of nice in regards that it's huge and it's got a full shank and it's not bent.
Solid.
The sad part is it's so toasty, and right in the center I can see a band of hash marks making a circle shape going around the inside. and there could be something in the dead center. I don't know. But I can see a hash mark right there going around in a circle. It's very interesting, Doug. You want me to bring this home and electrolyze it?
Yeah, if that you think that might be able to.
It won't hurt. I mean, you don't have much here.
There looks to be something on there of interest, but we can't make out what it is.
I'll go home and zap it, like an old Scott Baio movie.
Shazam.
Remember the movie Scott Baio Zapped? I think it was
Yep.
called. I'll go home and zap it, Doug.
All
And,
right.
That's big.
Yeah, it's nice.
That's big.
I don't know if it's going to be a GW, but it definitely had a fancy design. I can see it right there pretty well.
Yeah.
So I'll put it in there. We'll hope for the best, Doug. Can't get worse.
Alrighty.
Nice find.
Work your magic.
Well, that's kind of an ugly, bouncy signal, but it's small. Starts right there at the A in the Note the sticker, and if you stare at the ground, it's gone. It's very small. Let's dig it up, see what it is. Oh, there it is. Oh, it's a coin. Oh, no, it's not. Oh, I see the edges. I think it's going to be part of a parasol. Well, here it is, better camera angle. And as you can see, it is a sprocket off of an old umbrella and or parasol, probably 100 years old. And I read an article about a month or two ago, and I don't even know why I read it, but it was going on about how Baltimore, Maryland was the umbrella capital of the world in like the late 18 and early 1900s. There was 6 or 7 major umbrella manufacturers there, and they shipped them all over the world. And I was looking at some of the patent information, and I don't know, I just kind of found it intriguing. This sprocket, there was a few of them. This one looks like it was the one up at the top that would hold on to the metal ribs, as they call it, and have the fabric that would actually cover your head. And the metal bars would just slide into these grooves to hold it in place. And even though umbrellas have been around for thousands of years, it wasn't until the American Industrial Revolution that we started making them in great quantity. And out of Baltimore, Maryland in the 20s, they were sending out millions and millions of them around the world. In fact, one of the companies had a slogan that said, "Made in Baltimore, raised around the world," which I thought was pretty cool. So, you know, not the greatest thing I've ever found, but every little piece you find tells a story. And in this hobby, you find something even as innocent as this, you're going to look it up, you're going to dive into it, you're going to learn things that you just never knew before. So, like I said, not my greatest find ever, but still a cool old piece of Americana, over 100 years old. Just love interesting little doodads like that. Let's go find some more. All right, Joe said he might have himself a dandy button. Dandy number 2. We're going to hope for a GW. Who knows? Do you have one yet, Joe?
Yes.
Do you have a GW?
Yes, I do. Yes, with the eagle on it.
All right, well, then you don't need another one. Oh, definitely a big dandy. Oh, come on. A little bit of luck. Little bit of luck. A toothbrush.
It looks like it's facing this. It's just bent out or
Yeah,
something.
that's the shank.
Yeah,
it's like
see.
it's curved in. So no shank. This is the money shot right here.
Here we go.
Shape.
I don't see anything. Pretty beat up.
Yeah.
It wasn't really that deep, Jay, because it wasn't even in here. It was right over on the sidewall, like a little bit. Maybe 3 inches in the ground.
Man. I can't tell if there's a pattern going around the edge. At 12 o'clock, I see like a lot of dots.
Oh, yeah, right there. Yeah, I
Yeah.
see him. Yeah, right there.
So I don't know if that's a pattern or if that's
I don't know.
strategically placed corrosion, because I don't see it going all the way around. But I don't see the signs that would lead me to think it's a GW. Might just be a fancy dandy button.
I'll take it.
Well, nice find, Joe. Well, I think we're just going to camp in the front and side yard. That seems to be where all the signals are. We tried going down, way down the street on the right into the farm. We tried across the street into the orchard, but this is the best spot. This was a nice 29 signal, and I got this big old soup spoon. It's my third spoon of the day. All of them complete too. I don't think super old, but maybe 100 years old. And on the back of this one, if you can see, it says it's nickel silver, plated nickel silver, or solid nickel silver. I can't quite read it. But that's nice, man. I'll take that. I think it's my third one of the day. I'm getting some pretty fancy silverware. Well, wannabe silverware. Cool. In the bag she goes. All right, Rich Van Winkle said he's got something interesting in the front yard. Oh, I just hit my head on a low-hanging twig.
Something interesting.
Oh, I'm wrapped around another one. What the heck am I doing? Oh, that's not a penny, Rich?
No, I thought so too, but it was ringing up too low for one. And then I saw this side
Oh,
first.
look at that. Yeah, it's etched.
And it's got
04 it looks like, or 041.
3041. And then this side,
Oh, cool.
50 in trade.
Wow,
Cool,
so,
man.
And it's hold.
yeah, look at that. That's pretty cool.
That's awesome.
Good for 50 in trade and just a weird, obscure serial number, 3041. Doesn't say what it's for.
I'll give you 25 for it.
Joe's going to lowball you. It's a shame it doesn't say what establishment it's for.
Yeah.
I have to think if it's good for 50 cents in trade,
That's
It's
a lot.
old.
that's
It's
a lot of money.
That's
It's
a
probably
lot.
not
That's
super
old.
old, would you think?
Yeah,
maybe
1900s.
1920s, 30s.
Yeah, I would say
I mean,
that.
unless it's for like
I
a
agree with
car,
Charlie.
you know, 50 cents
Yeah,
off
yeah,
a car.
20, 30s,
Yeah, Model
yeah.
A.
50 cents off like a loaf of bread, I mean, they would owe you money, right?
I know, right?
Yeah.
First cool token. Well, no, Joe had one earlier.
Oh, you got a token?
He had an aluminum one. That's nice, man. Good find.
Okay.
I like the hole in it, too.
Yeah.
Well done.
Yeah.
All right, still working this house. We're going to work it until we leave for the day. It seems to be the hot area. Just pulled this out. This was a bouncy 30s, and I got what you're looking at. Rich and I think it's a key, or part of a key. I can't tell if it's broken. Rich, if you look at the ends, I don't think it's broken.
I didn't think it was either.
I think that's how it was issued. If
That's
it's
cool.
it's got to be a key, wouldn't you think, Joe?
Yeah.
When I first saw it, I thought it was broken, but looking at
Nah,
it
it's
close
not
up
broken.
now, I
And
can
you
see
even
the
have
ends.
a number, 331.
Yeah, and the ends are both tapered exactly the same, where
Yep.
that was the key, I guess key.
What's weird is this in the center there.
Yeah, that almost looks like a keyhole, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's very cool.
That's cool. I never found anything like that.
Like I said, I thought it was busted. I'm kind of happy that this is the whole thing, whatever it is. I'm going to go with key, but I don't know what it would open. It would have that sort of a mechanism at the end. Cool beans, though. In the bag she goes. That's a treasure, Joe.
Yes.
Deem it a treasure. Well, even though this house goes all the way back to 1710, we didn't find anything even close to that time period. But we did find some cool stuff that was still pretty early in its own right. Like Joe with the 1803 drape bust half cent, came right out of the ground, one wiper in great condition. We had a bunch of buttons, including like 3 dandy buttons that go back to the 1700s. Rich had that nice little cuff button, maybe like 1830s era or so. Joe and Charlie each had a sleigh bell, not quite as old as the Crodel bells, but it did have the pedal design on them, probably still 1800s. And of course, little Joe got a Conestoga bell. That thing was beautiful. Very rarely do we find them, especially not broken or chipped. And we got a bunch of other cool stuff too. I don't remember offhand. That's one of the beauties of when you do a house, is there's going to be things there the entire time people live there, from 1710 all the way up until 2023. You never know what you're going to find, and it's always an adventure each and every hole. Now, next week, we will be back at a colonial farm field that wasn't planted yet, but it was disked. And I don't know if you guys have ever done a disked farm field, but what that means is they turn the ground over, which they don't do much anymore, and things that may have been 10 inches down are now up on the surface. We even found some pretty incredible things that were laying right on the surface. What a cool one that's going to be, so I hope you join us next week for that. But otherwise, I'm out of here, guys. So thanks for watching, everybody. Happy hunting, and I will see you on the next one. Later.